Hey, Celtics fans, Boston has made a trade, and we're going to break it down in just a few moments here on the show. But, hey, this is why you subscribe, because moves are starting to happen. The draft was last night. NBA free agency starts on Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So get subscribed right now, because we're going to be your home for Boston Celtics news and rumors throughout the offseason. See that link below at youtube.com/CelticsTV. Share that with all of your friends. And hey, hit that big red button and subscribe. Coming up, trade details around your Boston Celtics. Trade alert, Harrison Graham here on Boston Celtics Today. Tristan Thompson has been traded by the Celtics to the Atlanta Hawks. Let's break it down, kind of get into the implications as we get closer and closer to NBA free agency on Monday. So here are the details. The Celtics will receive Kris Dunn, Bruno Fernando, who got drafted a couple of years ago, a big out of Maryland, and then a 2023 second-round pick. Tristan Thompson lands with the Atlanta Hawks. Adios, Tristan. That's what I have to say on this one. Decent energy, backup, big type, but had to start him a lot last year because the Celtics didn't address the big position, which is something they still need to do a little bit. But, I mean, he was out partying during COVID protocols. I just don't think he was the right fit at the right time. I say sayonara when it comes to Tristan Thompson, as he is now with the Atlanta Hawks. So as you look at the trade details once again, who do you guys think won the trade? Type BOS for the Boston Celtics. Type ATL for the Atlanta Hawks. Get your votes in. I kind of find it weird that the Hawks traded for Tristan Thompson, considering they have Clint Capella and they're going to re-sign John Collins probably. So that's interesting. BOS, ATL, let us know who you guys think won this trade. Bobby Marks had some financial implications, details regarding this one. This trade will likely create a $7.7 million trade exception for Boston, which is valuable. Of course, they've done $4.8 million salary, which he opted into with the player option a couple of days ago to help this trade happen. That will take place of the Enes Kanter 4.8 extra trade exception there, so that fills the gap there, so that doesn't count against the salary cap. Already have an $11 million trade exception that is still left over from the Gordon Hayward signing trade. So a lot of extra cash floating around via trade exceptions for the Celtics, again, with free agency just around the corner, so that is very nice to have. So Tristan Thompson moves on to a new home. Adrian Wojnarowski broke this news about 30 minutes ago. Like I mentioned, the trade exception likely to be created here. You get Kris Dunn, decent defensive guard, provides some depth for Boston's backcourt after, trading a guy like Kemba Walker. He can be a backup point guard type, so that's certainly valuable. I don't think they'll miss Tristan Thompson that much. He's not a starting caliber big at this point in his career. He can rebound. He can play a little bit of defense, but doesn't give you much offensively. He's undersized as a true center, and he can't shoot a lick. So in today's NBA, he only can give you so much value, and he was set to make about $10 million this year. So I think in a lot of ways, this was just to help clear some salary as well, which is why I said, adios, Tristan, no big deal. How do you feel about Tristan Thompson being gone? Don't hold back. Be honest in the comment section. Hey, maybe you're the biggest Tristan Thompson fans out there, and if you think I'm wrong for my thoughts, let me know down in the comments. Let me know honestly how you feel about Thompson being gone. Like I said, good riddance, adios. Nothing personal against the guy. I just don't think he's worth the money he was making, and I think at times he had, I don't want to say character concerns, but he just didn't necessarily vibe with this team. And I think that Boston this offseason really needs to reestablish what this culture wants to be under Ime Udoka and this new coaching staff, with Brad Stevens moving up the ranks to being the team's general manager. No more Danny Ainge. Udoka now trying to establish his culture there in Boston. And not that Thompson can't be a valuable piece on a contending team, but I just think that this was a win-win for both parties involved as he moves on to the Atlanta Hawks. Now get subscribed to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, because like I mentioned, NBA free agency launches on Monday night. It opens at 6 o'clock Eastern. We'll go live on our main Chat Sports channel at 5 o'clock Eastern, an hour before, and then we will stay live for a while, breaking down the latest free agency signings, news, rumors, whatever's floating around. We will have you guys covered there on Chat Sports. And, of course, if the Celtics sign a player, we'll break it down over there, and we'll publish it over here as well, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. So Kris Dunn also comes to Boston. Last year only played in 4 games, so I went with career stats here. 8 points, 4 assists, okay shooter, doesn't shoot the ball that well from 3, but a great defensive guard. He's always been a really, really, really good defensive player, so I think that'll be nice. He can be a guy that can work into your rotation, perhaps. Bruno Fernando is an intriguing talent. His career numbers from last year aren't going to obviously jump off the page there with 1.5 and 2.5 rebounds per game, but he wasn't in the Hawks rotation. I think he's intriguing. I think he's got some upside. Went early in the second round, I believe, a couple of years ago, but I thought he was worthy of being a first-round draft pick coming out of Maryland, so maybe he becomes something under this new Celtics regime. We'll just have to wait and see, but certainly the Celtics will continue to be active throughout free agency and on the trade market as we progress here. So name a player the Celtics should sign during NBA free agency, which, once again, gets going on Monday night, just a couple of days from now. Who would you like to see Boston sign in free agency? I think the true big position, and when I mean true bigs, I mean, legit power forwards or centers are still areas of thinness for Boston, because you picked up Al Horford, you got him back. Obviously, he's still a solid player. Robert Williams is okay. I don't think he's a starter, though. Moses Brown is intriguing. Maybe he gives you a little bit of something as well, but I don't think he's starting worthy. Horford probably starts for this team. You need more depth there, and ideally, you need another starting big, whether it's at the 4 or at the 5. I'd much rather play Horford at center than at power forward, although he can be that stretch power forward if you have to. I think if you look at the Celtics lineup right now, Al Horford would probably play that stretch forward with Robert Williams at the center spot, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum in there. Maybe you start Aaron Nesmith next year. Maybe a guy like Peyton Pritchard works in. Obviously, this doesn't factor in free agency. They're obviously going to sign a few players as well. But as we sit right now, the Celtics are a little thin up front right now. After Robert Williams and Al Horford, you just don't have much at the 4 and at the 5 positions. So one of maybe many trades this offseason for Boston. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see if they're still going to go big fish hunting for guys like Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal, although it seems like Beal is going to stay in Washington, which I don't know why he wants to do that. But Tristan Thompson's out. You bring in Kris Dunn, Bruno Fernando, a future second-round pick in 2023, creating a $7.7 million trade exception in the process, which is a nice asset to have if you're Boston. How confident are you in the Celtics' current roster? Scale it from 1 to 10. If I had to give a scale here, I'm at like a 7. I still love Tatum and Brown, but after that, I don't feel great. I like Marcus Smart. Is he still a long-term piece? Maybe. Al Horford's not a long-term answer at center or power forward. I'll go like 7. I still think Boston needs to maneuver some of its roster pieces here. But let us know what you guys think. Scale it from 1 to 10. And hey, this will be your home. Boston Celtics Today, youtube.com/CelticsTV. We will break down every major move, the major rumors that are out there surrounding your Boston Celtics during free agency. So subscribe and join us on Monday on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. We'll see you then here on the show.